While Walter Kinsley was in Wellsworth Prison, he started planning an escape. When a prison guard was doing his usual rounds, Walter punched him in the left side of his head through the cell door, knocking him unconscious. He grabbed his keys, then used them to unlock the cell door. After that, he stole the prison guard's gun and baton. "Time to get out of this trash heap," said Walter Kinsley. After placing the gun in his left pant pocket, three SWAT troopers were called in to prevent him from trying to escape. "Hold it right there," said the middle trooper, but Walter beat them up with a baton. Walter placed the baton in his other pant pocket and ran to the parking lot. Walter ran to Warden Kelsey Wilbur's car, a 2014 Subaru Outback, then used it as his getaway vehicle. Desiree walked to the kitchen when she saw a piece of loose-leaf paper that had Walter Kinsley's backstory. "That's messed up. I hope for his reign of terror to end soon," said Desiree. She had previously dealt with him when she and Anastasia dealt with King Doggy's escapade. "I'm calling Anastasia," she replied. Anastasia was about to lay her left hand on her grandpa Boris's gravestone when suddenly... "Hello, how may I help?" asked Anastasia. "Hello, how may I help?" asked Anastasia. "Hello, my friend," said Desiree. "I don't feel comfortable with saying this, but I think it's best you know. Walter Kinsley is back. I heard on the BBC Morning News that he broke out of Wellsworth Prison and he's after you. I want to help you," she added. I'm coming, Anastasia replied. Then she hung up. When Anastasia arrived, she was shocked to see what was written on the piece of paper. Why would he do something like this?" she asked. "I think it's because he didn't want to do any chores, and he killed his parents just like that," Anastasia replied. When Walter arrived at the shack, he enlisted escaped convict Otto Willie to help him in his plan. "Sure thing," said Otto. "How about you lure Desiree and Anastasia to a private area, because the last time I dealt with them, I ended up in the pokey. Later, we will lure them there and kill them." Walter replied. "We will lure them here and kill them," Walter replied. Then he and Otto got in the car. Desiree, who was driving her 2018 Ford Flex, and Anastasia, who rented a 2012 Honda CR-V, saw the getaway vehicle speed right by them. The two then decided to go to the area where Desiree had her final confrontation with King Doggy. Otto then stepped out of the car. "My boss wants to talk to you," he said. Desiree was enraged to find out who it was. "Walter Kinsley? How in the world did you escape Wellsworth Prison? Nobody has escaped there in 44 years, she screamed. "I knocked out a prison guard, stole his keys, baton, and gun. After that, I knocked out 3 SWAT troopers and stole the warden's car. Simple as that," Walter said. "That's impossible," said Desiree. "I hate to break it to you, but he made the stupid decision to park it in the parking lot, then leave it unlocked, and it was left for me to take it after I got onto the prison grounds." Then the two left. Later, Anastasia had something about her early life that she wanted Desiree to know. It was Anastasia Stalin Chekhov's 5th birthday, and Vlad had gotten permission from the Soviet Union to use their anthem every year on his daughter's birthday, and it would be sung by the Alexandrov Ensemble Chorus. "Anastasia, I got you your birthday cake," said Vlad. "Aw, thanks, Daddy," said Anastasia. "Honey, I think it's time we all sing the USSR national anthem to our sweet Anastasia," said Alexei Chekhov to Vlad. "And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, said the Alexandrov ensemble conductor. Then the chorus, Vlad, Alexei, and Anastasia's friends sung. Go on, my angel, said Vlad. Then Anastasia blew out the candle. Thanks for the cake, Daddy, said Anastasia before she shared slices of it with her friends, along with Vlad and Alexei. Thanks for telling me, said Desiree. No problem, said Anastasia. Walter and Otto are planning to kill both of us, said Desiree. This caused Anastasia to worry for her friend. Walter then spanked Otto with a baton. You idiot! On the way back here, you said the plan out loud, and now Desiree and Anastasia are catching on to it! He screamed in rage. Sorry about that, replied Otto. The plan will continue, Walter replied. Let's go. Desiree and Anastasia arrived, causing Walter and Otto to escape in the car. They escaped, said Anastasia. I see that, Desiree replied. How are we going to stop them? replied Anastasia. I got a plan, said Desiree, and she explained it to Anastasia. I love the idea. Let's go track Walter and Otto down and stop them, said Desiree. Then she and Anastasia set out to stop the two of them. During the drive, Walter was planning his scheme with Otto. We killed Desiree and Anastasia by any means necessary, said Walter. Yes, I like that, said Otto. Soon they'll know what happens when they get me sent to that stupid prison, Walter replied. When the two returned to their home, Desiree had news for Anastasia. I think the stolen car is at the Sodor Community Center, she said. I think the stolen car is at the Sodor Community Center, she said. You're right. Let's go, said Desiree. They were right. They saw the warden's stolen car at the Sodor Community Center, where the governor of Sodor sometimes has his meetings. Go outside and deal with Anastasia. I'll take care of Desiree, said Walter. Otto complied with this instruction. Desiree had already ran into the community center to confront Walter. Out of tricks, are you? Said Otto. Anastasia took out her dad's gun and shot Otto in both of his kneecaps. Otto got shot in both kneecaps. That cocky insect! I'll take care of this myself, said Walter as he got out the stolen gun. Desiree ran into the room where Walter was in. You are not going to kill me or my friend Anastasia, she said. Then the fight started. After Desiree put her gun in her back pocket, she grabbed Walter's gun, then threw it near a window. He then kicked her, causing Desiree to fall to the floor. You only wrote one side of the story on that sheet of loose-leaf paper, said Walter. You forgot about the part where I wanted to play F-22 Total Air War on my Windows 98 computer instead of doing stupid chores. After I succeeded in killing my mom and dad, I did whatever I wanted to do after stealing my dad's 1994 Ford Fiesta without anyone telling me otherwise, screamed Walter as he put a chain on Desiree's neck and tried to strangle her to death with it. Desiree threw the chain out of the room, causing Walter to fall to the ground. During my teenage years, I often rebelled against my mom when she wanted me to help out around the house when I was in the middle of something. But what you did is never a way to respond to you being told to do chores, she replied. You are correct, but after 2 years of freedom, I was in jail for the first freaking time, screamed Walter as he grabbed the baton at the same time Desiree grabbed her knuckle duster with a knife. You will not stop me this time, said Walter, unaware that Otto Willie was taken into custody 5 minutes after the fight started. He then sent Desiree flying, then she fell flat on her back. You thought you could defeat me like that, Walter said, unaware that Desiree had her knuckle duster with a knife ready for her to throw. She then threw it at Walter's shoulder, causing him to drop the baton, and he fell to the floor. She put the knuckle duster away, then grabbed the stolen gun. I know I'm bleeding at the part where you threw the knuckle duster, that knuckle duster of yours, but could you please get me... I won't fall for your manipulation so easily anymore, said Desiree after shooting Walter Kinsley to death, because she had enough of him bossing her around during their adolescent years every time they visited one another while Desiree went on vacation with her mom and grandma to Trenton, New Jersey. Desiree returned with the gun and baton, planning on giving them both back to the rightful owner. Thank you, said the prison guard. Here's one question. What happened to Walter Kinsley? He asked. He's dead, Desiree answered. How did that happen? Replied the warden. Walter tried to kill me, so I killed him out of self-defense, Desiree replied. That's understandable. Thanks for putting a stop to his deplorable actions, said Warden Kelsey Wilbur. I did hear that on December 29, 2000. He was arrested on 2 counts of murder, auto theft after stealing his dad's car, 2 counts of smash and grab by smashing his dad's car into 2 Walmarts, then stealing all the sodas and Skittles, armed robbery by robbing a big Kmart store, and 2 counts of burglary by breaking into the 2 houses of his next-door neighbors, he added. Then, the warden left in his car, along with the prison guard. Desiree and Anastasia were at Lucky Strike Alley in Wellsworth, going bowling while pondering their next steps. I think it's my turn to invite you over to my place, since you've been inviting me over here many times, said Anastasia. Agreed, said Anastasia. Agreed, said Desiree when Anastasia took her turn. The 2 friends were happy to be there for one another. Desiree returned to Yuba City after renting a 2004 Buick LeSabre, and her mom Rhonda, now 53, was happy to see her daughter once again. "Mom, I'm so happy to see you," said Desiree. "I'm mostly happy with how much you've grown," said Rhonda. "Who is that person behind you?" she asked. "Remember the time when Vlad killed Dad?" said Desiree. "Oh, don't mention that, please," said Rhonda. "This is his daughter, Anastasia. She's a better person than her dad," Desiree said. "Oh then, I'm Rhonda, Desiree's mom. A pleasure to meet you," said Rhonda. "A pleasure to meet you too," said Anastasia. The two of them soon became good friends. After spending the last 2 days in his cell at Knapford Penitentiary, a policeman led Otto to the execution chamber. "Any last words?" asked 57-year-old executioner Flynn Wilburn. "Do this now. I want to meet Vlad Chekhov and Joseph Stalin in hell in time for dinner," said Otto Willie. Then Flynn left the room and pulled the lever to activate the electric chair. The doctor came moments later after the electric chair was shut off and checked Otto Willie. "Guys, he's dead. Time of death, 12:34 p.m., he said. "Please exit the area," said the two cops. Later, his family made a claim on his corpse and had him buried at Wellsworth Cemetery. Anastasia then returned to her house in St. Petersburg, Russia. She then put up a picture of her, Alexei, and Vlad from when they went to St. Basil's Cathedral in the summer of 1985.
Must go now. Apparel for the entire family, 50% off. All toys, all bikes, 50% off. The final countdown has begun. Only days May. Every Bradley's going out of business. Everything it was 40 to 70% off. But hurry. The doors are closing forever. Only just days. Bradley's will be gone forever. Don't miss